You love your parents. It's a simple truth, a foundational belief you hold about yourself. You are a good son or daughter, a caring person who values family. So why does it secretly hurt so much? Why does their name flashing on your phone screen sometimes cause a knot in your stomach? You'd do anything for them in a crisis, yet you hesitate before picking up that call. You find yourself taking a deep breath, preparing a script in your head, bracing for the conversation to come. Why does a visit to your childhood home sometimes feel less like a homecoming and more like a performance? You put on the right face, say the right things, and carefully navigate conversations like a diplomat in a foreign country. And the worst part is the guilt that follows these feelings. You ask yourself, what kind of person feels this way about their own parents? You feel ungrateful, broken, or just plain wrong. If this resonates with you, I want you to hear this loud and clear. You are not alone. You are not a bad person, and that feeling is not your fault. This pain is real. It's common, and today we're going to give it a name and an explanation. That feeling you have right now, that mix of relief and maybe even a little bit of guilt for feeling relieved, is exactly why we need to have this conversation. For years, you've been trying to solve a puzzle without all the pieces. You've been navigating a complex emotional landscape with a map that seems to be missing key landmarks. The reason it hurts is often because you're dealing with more than just your relationship with your parents in the present moment. You're grappling with something passed down through generations, often unconsciously. We're going to call this the unseen inheritance. Think of it like inheriting a house you've never seen before. You didn't build it, you didn't choose the layout, and you certainly didn't cause the leaky pipes or the cracks in the foundation. But you are the one living in it now, trying to make it a home, while dealing with all of its hidden problems. This inheritance isn't money or property. It's made of emotional patterns, coping mechanisms, and unhealed wounds. This is not about blaming our parents, who likely received their own unseen inheritance. It's about awareness, so you can finally understand the emotional architecture you've been living inside. In this video, we're going to explore 3 of the most common types of this unseen inheritance. We will look at the inheritance of guilt, the inheritance of invisibility, and the inheritance of fear. And then, most importantly, we will talk about what you can start to do about it. So let's talk about the first and perhaps most common part of this inheritance, guilt. Have you ever felt like you owe your parents for your own happiness? This is the inheritance of guilt, the feeling of carrying an unpayable debt. It often starts with a narrative of sacrifice. Your parents worked hard. They gave up their dreams. They poured everything into you. These are acts of love, but in some families, they can unconsciously curdle into emotional currency. It's the unspoken message behind phrases like, "After all I've done for you." Suddenly, your life choices are no longer just your own. They become a referendum on their sacrifice. Your career path, your choice of partner, even where you decide to live, all feel subject to their approval. This creates a deep, pervasive guilt. Imagine this. You've had a tough week, and you decide to buy yourself a slightly more expensive coffee or a new shirt to cheer yourself up. For a moment, you feel a spark of joy, but it's immediately followed by a wave of guilt. You hear a voice in your head, maybe your mother's, maybe your own, doing the math. They work double shifts for years, and you're spending this much on a luxury? Your small moment of pleasure feels like a betrayal of their past struggle. This is what psychologists sometimes call parentification. It's when a child is forced to take on the emotional responsibilities of an adult. You become not just their child, but their confidant, their cheerleader, their emotional support system. You feel responsible for their happiness, which is an impossible burden for any child to carry. When you live with this inheritance, your own happiness can feel selfish. You might subconsciously hold yourself back from success or joy because you feel, deep down, that you don't deserve it more than they did. You end up living a life edited by their expectations and their history. Every choice is weighed on the scales of their sacrifice. This is a heavy weight to carry through life. Your independence feels like disloyalty. Your growth feels like you're leaving them behind. And the freedom you crave is tangled up in the guilt you're trying to escape. This feeling that you owe them your life is the first inheritance. It's a crushing burden that makes love feel like a transaction, a debt that can never be fully repaid. You weren't just given life, you were given a lifelong debt. But what if the problem isn't a crushing weight, but a profound, hollow emptiness? That brings us to the second, and in many ways more confusing type of inheritance. Let's call this the inheritance of invisibility. This is the pain that comes from having emotionally unavailable parents. Unlike the first inheritance, this one isn't about what your parents did to you, it's about what they didn't do. They gave you food, shelter, and an education. They provided for all your physical needs. But when you looked to them for emotional connection, for understanding, for someone to see the real you, there was no one home. It's like loving a ghost. You love the idea of them, the parent they could be, more than the person who is actually there. You might have a specific memory of this, a moment that captures this entire dynamic. You finally got that award you worked so hard for, or you got the lead in the school play. You rush to the phone, your heart bursting with excitement to share your amazing news. And your parent says, "Oh, that's nice, dear," and then immediately changes the subject. "By the way, the car is making that funny noise again." Or, "Did you hear what your cousin did?" And in that moment, you can literally feel the joy draining out of you, like air from a punctured balloon. You learn very quickly not to bring your passions, your hopes, or your true self to them. You learn to perform for them instead. This is the core of what is known as emotional neglect. It's so confusing because there are no visible scars. Your friends might say, "But your parents are great, they gave you everything," and you feel like a fraud. But a child's soul doesn't just need food and shelter, it needs to be seen. It needs someone to mirror their emotions, to delight in their existence, to be curious about their inner world. When that is missing, you grow up feeling like a stranger, even to yourself. You might struggle to know what you really want or what you truly feel because your feelings were never treated as important. You might feel a chronic loneliness even when you're surrounded by people. This leads to a profound and complicated grief. You are grieving for a connection you never had. It is okay to grieve the parent you wished you had while still loving the parent you do have. Those two feelings can coexist. Your pain about what's missing doesn't erase your love for what is there. The hurt comes from spending your life trying to get water from a well that has always been dry. You keep going back, hoping this time will be different, and the disappointment is fresh every single time. The inheritance of invisibility leaves you feeling unseen in the one place you most wanted to be known. You didn't inherit their baggage, you inherited their empty rooms. If this video is resonating with you, it means you're not alone in these complicated feelings. We explore topics like this every week to help you understand yourself and your relationships better. If that sounds helpful, consider subscribing to join our community of fellow travelers. The third type of inheritance combines love with a deeply unsettling emotion: fear. This is the inheritance of fear, or what it feels like to grow up loving someone on eggshells. This inheritance is passed down by parents who are unpredictable or volatile. They can be loving and fun one moment, and then cold, angry, or distant the next, with no apparent reason. Love and safety are never guaranteed. They are always conditional on the parent's mood. Growing up in this environment forces you to become a hyper-vigilant mood detective. You've become a detective of sighs, a translator of slammed doors, an expert in the silent language of their disappointment. You learn to read the emotional weather of a room the second you walk into it. Does this sound familiar? The sound of their keys in the door, or the way their car door slams in the driveway, instantly tells you everything you need to know about how the rest of your evening will go. Your nervous system is on high alert, constantly scanning for threats, for any sign that the fragile peace is about to be shattered. You have memories of wonderful, happy family moments, but many of them are tinged with the anxiety of waiting for the other shoe to drop. A fun family dinner could be instantly ruined by a misunderstood comment or a sudden, inexplicable outburst. As a child, this hypervigilance was a brilliant survival strategy. It kept you safe by helping you anticipate and manage your parents' moods. But as an adult, this survival mechanism is no longer serving you. It manifests as chronic anxiety, a tendency towards people-pleasing, and a profound difficulty with trust. You might find it hard to relax, to ever truly feel safe, because a part of your brain is always on lookout duty. In relationships, you might constantly seek reassurance or find yourself apologizing for things that aren't your fault just to keep the peace. The love you feel for your parent is real, but it's intertwined with the fear of their disapproval or anger. This creates a painful push-pull where you crave connection but are also terrified of the potential fallout. You learned that love was unpredictable, and now you struggle to believe in anything stable. You didn't just inherit their home, you inherited its minefield. Before we move on, it's really important to pause for a moment. We've been discussing difficult, painful family dynamics. It is crucial to distinguish between these patterns and situations of outright abuse or severe trauma. If your situation involves physical, verbal, or emotional abuse, your safety is the #1 priority. This video is for educational purposes, to provide language for confusing feelings. It is not a substitute for professional therapy. If you are in crisis or believe you are experiencing abuse, please check the description for lists of resources and crisis lines that can help. Okay, that was a lot to get through, and I want to acknowledge the courage it takes to even listen to this. You've been incredibly patient in exploring the past, and now it's time to talk about you. Let's shift from understanding the why to empowering your future with the how. Here are 3 safe, practical first steps you can take to begin processing this unseen inheritance. Step 1 is to adopt the observer role. For 1 week, your only job is to notice, not to fix. Get a journal and become a curious scientist of your own life. When do you feel guilt? When do you feel that anxiety in your stomach? Just write it down without judgment. The goal isn't to solve anything yet, it's simply to see the patterns clearly for the first time. Step 2 is to introduce the smallest boundary. Forget the big, scary confrontation you've been dreading. A boundary is not a wall you build to punish them. It's a gate you install to protect your own peace. Start with something small, internal, and entirely within your control. I will not answer their calls if I'm in the middle of dinner with my friend. Or, I will allow myself 10 minutes to decompress after a phone call before analyzing it. This isn't about them, it's about creating a small pocket of safety for yourself. Step 3 is to arm yourself with a self-validation statement. When the guilt creeps in, as it inevitably will, you need a pre-prepared defense. This is a mantra you can say to yourself, either out loud or in your head. It can be something like, "My feelings are valid, even if they are complicated. I can love my parents and protect my own peace at the same time." Choose one that feels true to you and use it as a shield when the old programming kicks in. So let's bring this all together. We've journeyed through the heavy halls of the unseen inheritance. We saw the inheritance of guilt, which saddles you with an unpayable debt. We felt the inheritance of invisibility, which leaves you feeling lonely in your own home. And we navigated the inheritance of fear, which taught you to walk on eggshells. We began this video with a question. Why does it hurt to love your parents? Now we have an answer. It hurts because you are often loving them while carrying the weight of their unseen inheritance. You are dealing with the emotional debts, the empty rooms, and the hidden minefields they left behind, likely because they were left for them too. But here is the most important truth of all. The pain you feel, the confusion and the hurt that brought you to this video is not a sign of your weakness. It is a profound sign of your strength. It is proof of your deep capacity to love and your powerful desire for a genuine, healthy connection. This pain you feel isn't a sign that you are broken. It's a sign that you are ready to break the cycle. Seeing the inheritance is the first step to deciding which parts you want to keep and which parts you are ready to respectfully leave behind. Your life is your own story to write. Thank you for sharing this space with me today. If you felt seen in this video, I invite you to share a single heart emoji in the comments below. You don't need to share your story. Just leave a heart so others who are scrolling know they are not alone in this feeling. It's a simple way to build the community of understanding we all need. Until then, be kind to yourself.